Lightfall is officially a week out from today. Currently, there's only 1 week left before this new DLC that completely changes the game and every aspect will be upon us. Now, I know there's a lot of things to do in preparation for this new DLC, such as bounty prepping and whatnot. Check out my new Lightfall prep guide to get a rundown of what you need to get done if you still need a guide. Alongside everything else going on in the game today, the main focus of this video will be to give you guys the top weapons in my opinion that you will need to bring into Lightfall so you guys are prepared. I did group certain weapons together like pure DPS weapons, pure ad click weapons to make sure you guys are prepared for the content we're about to get. Most of these weapons will be from the last 4 seasons. This means when Lightfall drops, acquiring these weapons to craft will become damn near impossible. For the last week before Lightfall, I want you guys to focus on acquiring these weapons. These are some of the best weapons in the entire game. The weapons I will be discussing will be some of the best weapons in the game to help clear any kind of content with ease. To kick off the list, we're gonna dive straight into it. We have Forbearance and Ikelos. You see in the clip with Forbearance that while doing the challenges for Morgan, the third boss in the Lazarus raid, I didn't even want to kill any ads because of how strong chain reaction is, and it could have messed up the challenge. Like, this gun is a monster at any kind of ad clear to instantly clear out any room of enemies. The only issue I found on running this weapon is that the lack of ammo drops in Destiny 2 right now is kind of the only thing that hinders this gun. So to counteract that, just throw on Special Finisher on your class item when doing ad phases, because the likelihood of you popping your super during an ad phase is very low, and I don't mind using my super rather than holding on for 10 minutes, but I'm not even going to use it anyways. Pick up a Forbearance. The way you get Forbearance is by going into the Vow Disciple raid and completing it, and then you are able to buy Red Border every single week. The roles you do want on your Forbearance will be Chain Reaction and Ambitious Assassin. So anytime you do get a kill, it's going to overflow your magazine and get you 2 shots instead of 1. Forbearance is a wave frame, so you do have to aim to hit ads, and keep in mind, Chain Reaction is very strong, so it will kill everything in the vicinity and make it explode. The next ad clear weapon you need to be bringing into Lightfall is the Ikelos. This submachine gun can roll with the perks Threat Detector and Volt Shot, making it very easy to clear out any trash mobs of enemies. So I switch between Ikelos and Forbearance depending on the activity and depending on whether I want to run Special Finisher or not. I know I use like Grenade Launcher Finder, but sometimes I still can't keep up that ammo for Forbearance, and that really surprised me. Maybe it's because my aim is bad and I just like to spam Forbearance. I need to do better with that, but Ikelos is just a substitute for that, and that is infinite ammo since they changed that. And the gun really surprised me of how useful it was when just clearing out ads during the raids, doing the dungeons, and during the seasonal content. If you're struggling to kill ads, pick up the Ikelos or Forbearance and you'll be golden, trust me. Next on the list we have the Heritage and Succession. These weapons do good damage overall, and it gives you the opportunity to have a full magazine that reloads itself while stowed. I can't tell you the amount of times that this has saved me when I want to kill a knight and my ammo is already there, instead of me jumping up to a knight while doing the totem challenge and I have no special ammo and I have to reload my gun, and that messes up the timer and the completion of that challenge. This means you'll never have to worry about reloading your special weapons when dealing with any kind of majors or champions. The Heritage can also be a very good DPS option when bosses are extremely close, such as Tanix, the last boss of the Deepstone Crypt raid, or Kali, the first boss of the Lazarus raid. Like you guys remember when Anarchy and Double Slug was meta for a long time and even still considered meta? Yeah, so going into Lightfall, we don't know what the new seasonal activities will bring, so having a strong shotgun in your back pocket is not a bad idea. Next on the list we have my personal favorite, which will be the Doom of Chelchis. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. You can acquire this weapon from the King's Fall raid, and this weapon is worth it, trust me on this. For any GM, this is my go-to weapon. With the perk combination of Frenzy and Adaptive Munitions, this weapon slays out and destroys any shields even if there's match game active. Since Adaptive Munition gives a damage buff when dealing damage to opposing energy to opposing shields, we're going to combine this with the 20% damage buff from Frenzy, and this weapon is just great overall. I highly recommend this weapon if you need a solid all-around weapon to run content. Next on the list we do have Bump in the Night and Riptide. Bump in the Night. I cannot tell you guys, this is one of the best rocket launchers going into Lightfall. This rocket launcher, I will use it whenever I'm not on my Warlock to spam fusion grenades, because on every single other rocket launcher I do have Demolitionist, but I'm not spamming grenades when I'm on my Hunter or my Titan. The perks I want on Bump in the Night will be Chill Clip and field prep. I can get a nice 50% reload buff and keep spamming rockets to keep up with the team whenever I'm not on my warlock. And big shout out to G miners and above, because having one player run a chill clip rocket, it adds to the overall DPS. That makes chill clip makes the boss freeze and shatter over and over again. And this is not the rocket you should be running if you are able to spam grenades and if you are on your warlock. But this rocket launcher, compared to the other rocket launchers, has a very ease of use factor. If you combine this with Supreme Wellmaker and 3 Founts of Might, the ease of use of this rocket launcher has the potential to become a top DPS weapon going into Lightfall. The way you are able to acquire this weapon is by completing the containment activity to gain opulent umbral energy, and if you have all the upgrades from the Season of the Plunder, then you will get 9 opulent energy after every tier 3 containment. And it costs 27 energy to buy 1 rocket launcher, so that means it takes 3 tier 3 containments to get 1 weapon. It takes a while to get 3 tier 3s done. I usually just load back into containment over and over and over again until I can find a solid group to actually get tier 3 done, since not a lot of people are actually running it. But since they did change it, you can pick up a rocket launcher every single day, so going into Lightfall, you have more than enough time to get you a bump in the night. Now, Riptide stands right beside Bump in the Night because it gives you access to the perk Chill Clip, and that makes the bosses freeze and shatter over and over again, which I just discussed before. And you can easily have one of your teammates run Supreme Wellmaker, and you can run Font of Light, and you can easily get a nice 25% damage buff while using your special weapon. So if we do get bosses that are really extremely close, we can use Riptide and pick up Font of Might with Supreme Wellmaker and actually do pretty good DPS. Now for the alternate DPS options, these are some of the best DPS options in the game currently. We do have the Type-In and the Cataclysmic. My favorite of the two will be the Type-In because they give you one for free when starting off in the Season of the Plunder, and to obtain the second one you need to craft the weapon, you're going to be able to get it from a quest from the Enclave. So they're giving you this weapon basically for free. The perks you should be crafting on this weapon will be triple tap, so after 3 precision hits, you'll get 1 bullet refunded, and firing line, so when 2 or more allies are near to you, you'll get a nice 20% buff. And it has the perk Vice Stinger, which they are nerfing, but going into Lightfall, this is one of the best perks I've ever seen. I've even seen a post on Twitter where a guy hit 26 shots consistently without reloading. 26 shots, and he's doing 90 to at least 130,000 per shot. That is some of the best DPS I think I've ever seen for Destiny 2 right now. And all you need to do with this gun is point and shoot. The ease of use factor is combined with why this is on the list. It does good damage, and like I said, you just need to point and shoot. If somebody can spawn those void elemental wells and you run Font of Might, you're easily getting another 25% buff onto the already 20% buff you're getting from firing line. Just point and shoot. For Golgoroth, this is one of the perfect options. Now, for the big boy damage, we do have Cataclysmic, which can be obtained by Vow the Disciple. You need to get 5 red borders to be able to craft your own Cataclysmic. And once you are able to craft your own Cataclysmic, you need to have the perks 4th times the Charm and Bait and Switch. Now, having the enhanced perks of Bait and Switch makes it easier to use, because a lot of the times I do miss my shots, and that's why Type-In is my favorite. But let's go back to the Cataclysmic. In order to park Bait and Switch, this requires you to deal damage with all of your weapons beforehand to make the perk active. So if you're like me and you forget to reload your weapons before you go into a boss phase, you're not going to be able to proc Bait and Switch adequately, and you're going to miss out on so much DPS like I have in the past. You see me miss my Wither Horde against Golgoroth, so when I begin to DPS, my Cataclysmic does not proc Bait and Switch. So I'm basically not even using the perk, and the only reason why I'm even using Cataclysmic is because I want to use that nice Bait and Switch perk that gives you that 35% damage buff. So if the bosses are extremely far away and you're not running long range weapons, just switch to the Type-In and get that nice 20% buff from firing line instead of the 35% damage buff you could get from Cataclysmic if you aren't able to hit all your shots. But those are the 2 linears you need to be picking up heading into Lightfall. Those are all the weapons I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Those are the weapons I'm bringing into Lightfall. Those are weapons you should be bringing into Lightfall. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next week. Thank you guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe.